Guys, so we have some shifting energetics underway this week. We have a couple planets changing signs. We have a couple planets that have been stationary for quite a while, moving degrees. So that is also going to be bringing us some shifts and changes our way this week. But ultimately, this week, starting now and actually over the course of the next several weeks and through the rest of this astrological lunar year that we are in, we have some serious energy now as of today that is really pushing towards individual self-empowerment. That is really, as a part of these shifting energetics and as a part of these ongoing shifting power dynamics that we've likely been experiencing in our lives, there is a definite push towards self-empowerment that is, like I said, starting today and going to be carrying us through the next couple of lunar cycles as we close out this astrological lunar year that began this past April of 2022. So let's get into the report today. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today is Monday, January 24th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. So there are a couple of things that are going on today. Like I said, we have shifting energetics opening our astrology week this week. First of all, we have Mars changing signs today. Mars is moving from Capricorn into Sagittarius. We also are going to be having Mercury retrograde back into Capricorn from Aquarius this week. We have Chiron changing degrees today as well. And it's interesting because Chiron is currently in Aries, ruled by Mars, who is moving into Capricorn today. And Chiron has been stationary for a very long time because of his retrograde process. And this is also representing some forward movement, some forward motion that I will get into. And then we have some aspects that the moon is making today as well. So there are some things to talk about today. There's a couple things going on, shifting energy underway, and some things beginning to come into fruition now as well. This energy, the primary energetic shift that we're dealing with today is Mars moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn. And with Mars moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn, this is starting this process. It's actually been an ongoing process, but it's really like kicking it into final gear. And this is the energy that I'm going to be talking about in just a minute. That's really going to be taking us through this next new moon in Aquarius and through the new moon in Pisces, which is where this self-empowerment will really start to sort of saturate the collective. But we are on that pursuit now. So let's talk about it. Mars moving into Capricorn today. This is kind of a big deal because now Mars is in the same sign as both Venus and Pluto. And if you've been following my work for any period of time, you know that I've been talking about this Venus-Pluto saga that's been ongoing throughout the course of this entire astrological lunar year. When we had our new moon in Aries this past April, Venus was an exact to the degree square to Pluto. And this was telling me that really throughout the course of this year, Venus-Pluto themes were going to be strongly highlighted. And it is also telling me that this year was really about breaking our heart free from anywhere that has been keeping us from recognizing the truth of our self-worth and our inner value and the power that that represents to help us really align with our divine feminine energy. And, whether you're male or female, we all have divine feminine, divine masculine. It's not about that, but the divine feminine, this is that creative energy that helps to manifest and bring things into fruition. And it's very self-empowering. And a major concept and theme of this entire year has been the restoration of the divine feminine and the divine masculine archetypes within us. And that energy has been quite distorted for a really long time. But as we move into the age of Aquarius, that is one of the aspects of the dynamics of what is happening that is helping us to come back into the truth of our authentic creative power so that we can become, come into our self-mastery and begin really co-creating with God and universe from this place of self-resilience and self-reliance and understanding and our ability to really tune into what we have inside of us and recognize the worth and the value of those things, those Venus qualities and characteristics, and how we can, be empowered to create with that. That is one of the major pushes that has been going on all year. And now Fast forward to today, there have been several like highlights along that path, but fast forward to today, we have Mars moving into the sign of Capricorn, which is also where Venus is right now, and it's also where Pluto is right now. And over the next couple of months, Venus and Mars are actually going to come together, and they're going to come together at the exact same degree in the sky where Pluto is for our new moon in Pisces on the 2nd of March of 2022. It'll be another 222 day, of course. But anyways, this final takedown of the Dark Lord in terms of the inversion of the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies and archetypes like in the human collective spirit is really being sort of, like I said, highlighted and ignited today with Mars's entrance into Capricorn, because this puts him back in the same sign as Venus. Now they're together, and now they're really, Venus is still retrograding, and they're going to go through, they're going to come together closer. I think Venus actually retrogrades past Mars. I'm not sure about that. I need to double check that. I'm really not sure. I haven't looked at exactly how the the transgression of it goes. But I do know that on March 2nd of 2022, they will be together with Pluto, and that will be a really profound period of time. And like I said, from now, today, the day that Mars enters Capricorn through March 2nd, when this energy is fully activated, it is igniting this self-empowerment energy that is trying to bring us through this process as these divine feminine, divine masculine energies begin to sort of right themselves, and we can find our fusion or our synthesis and resonate with that. It's really this big collective process, but it's happening individually, and it's just going to lead to us taking back our power in our own lives and using that to create, as we now have the North Node in Taurus as well, talking about, tapping into our own resources and that internal creative potential to become more self-sufficient, more self-reliant, and more able to sort of co-create our own reality going forward as we let go of a lot of the really difficult things that we've had to deal with over the past couple of years now that we have the South Node in Scorpio. So I really wasn't planning on getting that deep into that just now, but there it is. So that's really the whole story about what is going on with Venus, Pluto, and Mars at this point in time, and why, North Node in Taurus as well, that's also Venus's sign, talking about this creative pursuit going forward. But it really requires us to be in this wholly reintegrated place internally in terms of the divine feminine, divine masculine energy integrating and working properly within us. And that is what is being indicated today as Mars moves into Capricorn and really sort of kicks off this energy. But self-empowerment, that was, I guess, like a really long, drawn out, complicated way of saying that self-empowerment over this next few weeks is a theme that we are probably all going to start noticing, externally in our experiences, as well as how we are dealing with and feeling about ourselves internally. And it's, I like this too, happening in Capricorn right now, because Mars is just off fresh conjunction with the galactic center. And so that really is like an infusion of the Christ consciousness and that galactic wisdom in the energy body with the divine masculine, a purification of those divine masculine energies, having just literally at 27 Sag, just having Mars having just undergone that and now moving into Capricorn and sparking this energy off that is really trying to push us to self-empowerment over this next couple of weeks as we move towards the new moon in Pisces on the 2nd of March. So our energy though, just like on the basic fundamental level, now that we have Mars in Capricorn, Mars is our energy, our action, our motivation, our willpower, just generally how we're using our energy and, what's motivating us and stuff like that. With Mars in Capricorn, this is a much more focused, grounded, practical energy. We are likely to be working quite hard on some things in a very focused, determined way. way over this next couple of months while Mars transits Capricorn, aside from everything that's going on with the Venus-Pluto saga. But yeah, Mars and Capricorn, Mars and Saturn, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so this is like a Saturn-Mars energy. And Mars and Saturn, when they are working out of their highest octaves, this is like master builder energy. And again, with the North Node now being in Taurus, asking us to really tap that potential and see what we can build with it, we now have Mars in Capricorn, which is very, very supportive of that notion, like of that prospect. We can really put our energy in a very focused way into things that we're trying to build, things that we want to form and structure in our lives right now. And it is just a good placement in the context of what we have going on right now. And that is most likely how we are like going to be expressing our energy over this next couple of months while Mars transits Capricorn, but definitely much more grounded, much more practical, just much more like attention to detail and focused and logical and stuff like that than when we were dealing with Mars and Sagittarius, which is like all about aligning with like our highest truth and our greatest sense of freedom. So definitely different vibe now in terms of how our energy is operating, what we might feel like doing with it. Number two, another thing that I want to talk about, we are also, like I said, Mercury is going to be moving into Capricorn this week as well, retrograding back into Capricorn. And this is also going to mark a shift. This is happening on Wednesday, I believe. But I just wanted to bring it up today as well, just to sort of highlight the fact that we sort of like dipped our toes into the Aquarian vibes last week when the sun moved into Capricorn. We had Mercury and Saturn, or Aquarius, into the Aquarius vibes when the sun moved into Aquarius, and we had Mercury and Saturn both in Aquarius, and we had a lot of Uranus transits and stuff going on over the weekend. Uranus went direct last week as well. There were a lot of Aquarian vibes that we sort of were getting our feet a little bit wet in last week. But now this week, just to sort of highlight, we have got Mars having moved into Capricorn, Venus and Pluto in Capricorn, and Mercury is also about to enter Capricorn again for the retrograde process. So Capricorn energy is really strong today, tomorrow, this week, and as we move through the rest, this final week of our Capricorn cycle, because remember, we are still in the Capricorn lunar cycle right now as well. We haven't got to, this is the last week of that cycle before we begin the new moon in Aquarius. It's going to be coming next week, but definitely Capricorn vibes are very, very strong right now. And it's our mind, Mercury moving into Capricorn this week, our heart, Venus is there, and also our energy body, like I said, now with Mars moving all in that Capricorn energy, very focused on planning, building, forming, structuring, refining things in alignment with our revelations and our discoveries about ourselves that we've likely been making lately. We have both Mercury and Venus retrograde heading back into this Capricorn energy. So we really may be like revising plans, like rethinking how we were doing things, like coming up. We may have gained some like alternative ideas or solutions or options when Mercury was in Aquarius, now coming back into Capricorn, like really redefining, reevaluating, deciding if we need to make any changes, and like just kind of restructuring things. And with Venus in Capricorn retrograde as well, this is also sort of like rethinking things, but also like refeeling things. Like, is this truly what I actually still want? And these two together, it could just be definitely a period right now with Mercury coming back to Capricorn where we're just really making some big reevaluations in terms of the things that we're putting our energy into in terms of that planning, structuring, forming, laying foundations, trying to get organized, get our thoughts organized with Mercury retrograde as well. Maybe a little bit difficult right now. There still may be definitely some lingering confusion or some loose ends in terms of like maybe not knowing exactly how to move forward. Could also be bringing some like anxiety or some tension with that as well. Just sort of like a lack of mental peace, both Venus and Mercury retrograde, and now Mars coming in, really wanting us to like start moving forward towards these goals and putting action and energy into it. But we may just be a little confused or discombobulated, or, you know, making so many changes that we're not exactly sure how we want it to look at this point in time. But those things are going to resolve themselves, and, you know, we're going to have both Mercury and Venus go direct in Capricorn, while Mars is in Capricorn as well. So over the next couple weeks, the solutions will be coming to us. Things will start making more sense. But right now, there definitely is this emphasis on the desire to build, plan, and structure, form things in some type of a way. And we're also a lot more likely this next couple of weeks. Don't be surprised if people are just being a lot more like introverted and withdrawn, sort of in like a serious hermit mode with all of this retrograde energy and all of this energy in Capricorn as well, especially with Mars now in Capricorn, Venus in Capricorn. This is more of like a socially isolating energy. And we're really just trying to get to the truth of our heart and the truth of our mind and figure out what our priorities are and like really figure out like what we're doing and how we're moving forward. So it is very likely that people may be really just sort of like staying to themselves over the next couple of weeks. Let's see. I wrote, also look for changes going on right now in decisions in regards to like authority and management to happen with all of this Capricorn Mercury retrograde energy that we have as well. And also one very important thing to keep in mind, even though there is the sense of confusion and not knowing maybe exactly what to do, the number one most important thing is that we need, whatever we're doing, whatever plans we're making, we need to be doing them in a way that is definitely in alignment with our truth and in alignment with our authenticity, because all of this energy is going on in Capricorn. Remember, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, but Saturn's in Aquarius right now. So this is really telling us, and I mean, Saturn and Capricorn, both of those signs, like Saturn and Capricorn, both rule success and public success and public reputation and public image and stuff like that. And so with Saturn and Capricorn right now, it's really important that whatever, reevaluations or changes or decisions or, whatever we're building, forming, structuring now with all this Capricorn energy, it really needs to be in alignment with our authentic truth, because that is the only way that it's going to be successful, long-term, lasting, and enduring going forward. It really, whatever it is, whatever we're building, whatever we're creating, whatever changes to plans that we're making for our lives right now, the outcome, the trajectory, like the path that we are setting for ourselves, it absolutely has to be one that is setting our authentic self free. It can't be one that is going to get us back into the same type of situation that we've been in, or be like just like a band-aid on a problem and not like solving the root issue. Like this is root issue healing, cleansing, clearing, transcending with the South Node, especially in Scorpio right now. So if that is any sense of guidance in all of this retrograde energy for the trajectory that things need to be going, even though we may not be able to see super clearly or we may feel really confused about things right now, whatever it is, just know that it's in alignment with authenticity if that is the direction that you're thinking about pursuing. Anything out of alignment with truth and authenticity moving forward into the age of Aquarius 2022 and beyond is not going to make it, not going to last, not going to be any type of successful, because it just doesn't match the energies that are coming in. So that is the word of advice that may help you if you're struggling with that. Attach to your authenticity and stick to that, because that is what is going to bring you the prize at the end of the day. Mercury retrograde today, you guys, another thing of note is at 2 degrees of Aquarius. That Sabian symbol is an unexpected thunderstorm. So there may be lots and lots of like information raining down upon us today, a deluge or a waterfall of information or data or messages or something possibly unexpected or pertaining to the past. Most likely hearing from people from the past is very likely with this as well. If you haven't already been hearing from people that you've lost contact with or people from the past coming back around, very likely with this energy. But going back to what I said initially, there are definitely themes highlighted today of power, self-empowerment, and also awakening in alignment with self-empowerment being represented in the symbolism of the energy today. Let's talk about the Sabian symbols real quick, since I brought up the Sabian symbol of Mercury. The Sabian symbols, for those of you who are unaware what they are, they're a group of symbols that describe each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever there's a planet at a specific degree making an aspect, we can look to the Sabian symbol. It just gives us more information about how that that particular aspect is playing out in the symbolic grand unfolding story, cosmic story that is like constantly and perpetually carrying us through time and space. It just gives us another layer of clarity for understanding energetics, a symbolic interpretation outside of the particular aspects that are going on. I find it very useful, and I always look at the Sabian symbols when I'm reading energetics. And so let's just talk about them real quick today so we can see what the symbolism is talking about. First of all, we have the sun at 5 degrees of Aquarius. That Sabian symbol is a council of ancestors, is seen implementing the efforts of a young leader. This is talking about self-empowerment through the spiritual realm, from the realm of the ancestors, coming down, family lines and coming into a sense of self-empowerment, implementing the efforts of a young leader, being discussed by the position of the sun today, as we have Mars moving into Capricorn, really kicking us off on this pursuit of self-empowerment that we're going to be on as we go through this reintegration and coming back into like proper flow of divine masculine and divine feminine energy over this next few weeks. We have the Earth today at rock formations at the edge of a precipice. So, things may be about to crumble in some type of a way, but we have to remember we have the South Node in Scorpio right now, so we expect a sense of destruction, a death that must come as part of a rebirth process that we're in. So we know that we are on the edge of possibly some more destructive or appearing as though they may be a little bit more, I don't want to say dangerous, because that's not really what I mean, but just a little bit less fun times maybe. But the flip side of that, again, is the North Node in Taurus and this self-empowerment and all of the ability that gives us to create something that is genuine and true going forward. So there's that. Then we have Mercury, like I said, 2 degrees Aquarius, an unexpected thunderstorm. Venus at 12 degrees of Capricorn today, a student of nature lecturing, revealing little known aspects of life. This is, again, about that self-discovery or that general discovery, things becoming apparent to us, awakenings and revelations. Mars, 1 degree of Capricorn, an Indian chief claims power from the assembled tribe. Now, in the context of the energy and what's going on this year in the aspects and this saga with Venus and Pluto and Mars, I actually really love this specific degree because I feel like it's talking about claiming our power back, claiming our power from the assembled tribe, from whoever we've been giving our power to. And this indefinitely highlighting and bringing up this theme of self-empowerment that Mars simply moving into Capricorn right now is also representing. So I really like that as well. Again, self-empowerment definitely very highlighted energetically today. And we have Jupiter right now at 6 degrees of Pisces, a parade of army officers in full dress. So again, that is like statements of power, and that is standing in your power. There also could be some military themes going on this week, just in the news or behind the scenes of things as well, something to keep in mind. And then, like I said, we have Chiron changing degrees today. I can't remember if I mentioned that in the beginning or not, but Chiron was very stationary for a very long time because of his retrograde. And Chiron is finally moving to 10 degrees of Aries today. And that degree is a teacher giving new symbolic forms to traditional images. Again, this is like recreating things in a way that is more suitable to now, but in a way that we can like very much understand. New symbolic forms to traditional images. We are taking the wisdom of the past and adapting it and molding it to our current circumstances and situations now so that we can really use it. And Chiron, this is a sort of a big deal to me that Chiron is moving degrees today as well, especially just because it's been so long. Like just the fact that it's happening today is very synchronistic to me, and the fact that Mars is moving into Capricorn and doing this thing that I was talking about earlier because of Venus and Pluto as well. Now remember, Chiron, this is the wounded healer teacher archetype energy. This is the master archetype. This is the hero's journey energy. And with Chiron moving forward today, it's making me feel like we are beginning to finally move forward in that hero's journey and that healing journey that we've been going on. And Chiron is in Aries, which is ruled by Mars, who just moved into Capricorn, which is also now kicking off that same hero's journey, because that's really, at the end of the day, what that is. The reintegration of the divine feminine and divine masculine, writing these energies, coming back into our power, coming back into our sense of self-mastery, transmuting victimhood into a state of self-mastery, and then beginning to be empowered enough to really start co-creating with God and universe by the laws in this reality. And that is the hero's journey, this Venus, Pluto, Mars saga that we have going on, that we've had going on throughout the course of this entire year, is the hero's journey. And then we have Chiron activating, finally moving degrees on the same day that Mars is moving into Capricorn, bringing up these hero's journey themes being activated twice, synchronistically, like synchronized on the same day in the same energy. So this is like really making me feel like I got so far off from my notes, but this is really making me feel like we are moving forward in our hero's journey now, or like I said, that healing journey. And just with it happening on the same day at the same time, I feel like this collective healing is really kicking off right now, which is going to lead to this tremendous sense of self-empowerment over this next couple of days. So we have that going on as well, and I feel like that's a pretty big deal. This healing energy, and we just had Uranus station direct as well, talking about these awakenings that have been happening internally, being expressed outwardly, and now we have this hero's journey, this healing journey, also really starting to show itself, show the results from it, like what, where we've come to now as a result of undergoing this process. So I feel like that is like also significant in the context of this other energy that we have going on with Mars today, just very synchronized and synchronistic the way that that's playing out. Now, we also today, the last thing that I really want to talk about is we have a Libra moon going on. And of course, that is also bringing up Venus, because Venus is the ruler of Libra. And the moon in Libra today is going to be forming a square to Pluto. So the energy in and of itself today is really, again, speaking to this hero's journey and this Venus, Pluto, Mars saga that's been playing out throughout the course of this year, by Mars and Chiron moving today, while we have the moon in Libra ruled by Venus making a square to Pluto, which was the imprint energy of this year, Venus in square to Pluto. So very much so themes that began in the beginning of this year coming back up today. Things could definitely be a bit intense with this Libra moon squaring Pluto. Intense or conflicting emotions could be very likely with this. Conflicts and power struggles are also very likely in relationships with this energy highlighting. Imbalances in power may be very obvious today, and hurt feelings very possible with this as well. There's this sense of self-empowerment that's going on, but on the flip side, there may be some kind of painful emotional issues that are going on today as well. But, we have to remember, because of Chiron and Mars both moving today, they're both supporting Venus. This whole process really is about the purification of the divine feminine energy. Like, that is really the fundamental push of this. The divine feminine energy has been very distorted for a very long period of time, and that has led to a lot of issues that we are trying to resolve collectively right now in this process. And Mars, the divine masculine, is playing a very supportive role in this process, and the Chiron energy is as well, because that is ultimately the energy that is represented as the outcome of this healing of the divine feminine energy that we have going on this year throughout the rest of the course of this year. But, with Chiron and Mars both in support of Venus now, especially with Mars now in Capricorn, Venus, the ruler of Libra, where the moon is squaring Pluto today, our sense of self-empowerment and self-worth from healing work that we've actually been doing, or that we have been doing, like internalized healing that's been underway as well, with this Chiron energy breaking free today, that might also be the source of some of this internalized conflict or some of this like more emotional pain that we may be dealing with as we break free from these things that have been like abusing or neglecting or overpowering us, which are represented by Venus in aspect to Pluto. This can be in terms of financial, material situations, as well as relationships and partnerships and stuff like that. We are in sort of like a grand rectification alongside everything else that's going on, again, of how we give our power away based on any sense of internalized lack that we perceive. And this is being resolved with this energy that is going on right now. But it's almost like there may be some difficult emotions that are coming today as a result of things that we are sort of stepping away from and any type of conflict that can come as a result of us stepping into our power and maybe making a different decision or behaving a different way or saying something we wouldn't normally say with Venus and Mercury retrograde. So that is basically what we have going on in terms of the energy today. We are in a period of self-empowerment today and this week, over the next few weeks, and shifting power dynamics very much, as well as we start to plan and build and put our energy into this process, this new direction for our lives that we're kind of recreating at this point in time. So that's really what I have going on for the astrology today. I have cards for us today. I want to take a quick minute and look at the tarot now. Shuffling this morning, asking God and universe to give me some energy to clarify the collective. And I just want to say, you guys, right now, we really need to keep in mind, it's very important. It's all about our thoughts. It's all about our perspective. It's all about our viewpoint. It's all about what we're holding in our mind and what we're focusing our internalized mental intention and attention on. It's a very important message right now. The cards that came out were the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and then we got the Nine of Swords, you guys. And then on the back of the deck, we had the Ten of Wands. And this is telling me really that right now, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of worry, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of not knowing how things are going to unfold or resolve that is blocking our progress, that is creating a really big burden energetically for us, that is prohibiting us from actually doing what we need to be doing right now and moving forward to build something new in this new energy. This is telling me, I wrote a lot of worry about how to move forward, how to start building and growing something stable and successful, keeping people up at night and carrying the burden. But the solution to this, again, you guys, is to surrender. Our mind and fear is the burden blocking our progress right now. So we need to be very aware of that, and we cannot get caught up in this energy. The best thing to do if you're in this circumstance, if you're in this situation, is to surrender the burden to the divine and be okay with not knowing how it's necessarily going to work out, how it's necessarily going to happen. But align your thoughts and align your mind with the outcome that you want, and do not stray from that. Feel it, envision it, live it in your mind and in your thoughts. And that is how we can go from this to actually this. The fears and the worries are not going to do anything but block the outcome. We have to surrender that Ten of Wands, surrender the burden. And that is what will open us up for forward progress. I'm going to grab us a synchronicity card now, you guys. I literally have just a couple more seconds, but there's one pushing out. Turn off the world, it says. Yes, with all that Capricorn energy. Folly is joy to him destitute of wisdom. Proverbs 15:21. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for joy in the externals. Finding joy in lurid drama, hate-filled music, and other synthetic entertainment. You will find joy within yourself. Turn off the noise and listen to the voice within. Search for wisdom within. Be happy with yourself inside, and you will find joy. And again, with all of that Capricorn energy, Mars now in Capricorn as well, this is a really good way for us to be putting our energy into this, whatever is going on right now, being more isolated, tuning inward, and tapping into our own authentic wisdom, because that is what is going to bring us success going forward. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think they would